Hey guys, thanks for joining this course. This is the introduction to 3D programming in TypeScript, and I'm Matas, your teacher. I'm also the one who's coding bit by bit, so I am qualified to explain to you how it works, and I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope it's an interesting and practical course that will open up your intuition about, well, not only TypeScript, but also just programming 3D geometry in general. So let's get started. To open up the editor, you will need to click this apps button, open up the Monaco editor. That's the one that you use to code TypeScript. And then you just see the empty editor with no code inside. Basically, the trouble with those startup videos is sometimes the UI changes of the website and they don't work anymore, but basically you can always find the TypeScript editor on the homepage in one way or another. This is the simplest, I guess, so that's what you should follow. And let's just get started a bit. Basically, bit by bit is just a simple collection of functions that allow you to create three-dimensional geometry. And what you can do is just type bit by bit here immediately in your editor and click dot. And you'll see all kinds of things here that we allow people to create. So we have vectors and mathematics, we have Open Cascade kernel here, we have tags and texts and all kinds of things that you can do. So this is something that we will not discuss in this video, at least, some parts of it maybe. But this video is just to write a simple hello world application that will create a 3D text in our 3D environment. So let's do that. Let's just create a small boilerplate function that we need called start. And let's assign it an arrow function. So this is a boilerplate that we need to create asynchronous code inside bit by bit editor. This is a small irritation maybe, but here in this body of the function you can now use async await methods, and that's gonna help us create this 3D text that we will be making. So let's just jump into it immediately and create a constant called text. And let's just do this, await bit by bit advanced text 3D create method. So you see that now it's red, which means that it sort of expects something to be passed as an input to the method. And what it wants is those inputs that are defined by this class. The easiest thing to do is just sort of create a new instance of those text options. So let's create that by doing this. So I just copy pasted this text here and created a new instance of the options, and I will pass those into the method, and now the code you see is satisfied. There's no red squiggles anywhere. And another thing that we still need to do is do the draw on the screen. So this is a thing that you will do a lot in bit by bit. Before you do that, nothing would appear on your 3D editor. So there's no point in creating all kinds of geometries and things if at the end you don't make them appear on your screen. So this is what we do with this draw method, draw any async, and you see that it also has this draw any inputs as we had here in the create method. And let's just, click the play button now. So what happens is you see now in the background, there's this bitbybit.dev text appearing. What we want to do is swap the canvas now to enter into this 3D space. So now when you're in this 3D space, you can pan with your right mouse button, or zoom in with your scroll bar, and also rotate in 3D with the left mouse button. So this is a standard text that we create by having default options. In order for this text to change, we have to do something like text options dot text and pass and give it a value of, let's say, hello world. This is the most simple thing that people do when they start something up. So this is what you need to do in order to create a 3D text in BitByBit. You need 4 lines of code. Well, okay, a bit more maybe with this boilerplate, but this is what you get. So you get this hello world code now, hello world text, appearing in 3D. Don't forget to swap the canvas. And also to see updates, you always need to press this run button. So if you will say, yeah, I want to put my name here, hello world Matas, that's me. Let's click run. Then you see the result. So you always need to click run in the editor of TypeScript to see your result. The run just executes the code that you type in this editor. Okay, so what we see here is that it's not very complicated code, but you do need to understand some nifty gritty details of coding. Probably you will not understand these arrow functions, asynchronous methods if you're a beginner. You will also probably not really understand this await thing here, why it's needed, but we'll try to explain those in the videos ahead. Now just try to sort of follow along and just ignore some things that are not making sense. We'll try to touch upon those in the videos ahead. Another thing that is handful is these documentation pages on docs.bitbybit.dev, where you can go and inspect things. So for example, the advanced method that you saw here, for example, if you click dot, you see that it's now only having text 3D and only this create method is available. Documentation just helps you to inspect these things as well. So what kind of things do we have in BitByBit that are available to you? So you see here that we have Open Cascade category. So let's go here. You see that we have Booleans. You can do fillets and all kinds of things. So by navigating the documentation, you get some insight into the application programming interface of BitByBit. And it matches mostly the things that are happening here in the editor. If you hover on those things, you also see that it sort of has some documentation and some explanations. So yeah, I think this is enough for the first lecture. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's see each other in the next one. Cheers, guys.